Evangelicalism in America is changing faster and more intensely than most people realize. The evangelicalism that you grew up with in the 90s and 2000s, it's eroding away rapidly. And something older and harder and meaner is moving into the shell that it's leaving behind. The kind of evangelicalism that's going away, we can call the personal savior evangelicalism. After World War II, white Christian America entered a renewed period of extraordinary dominance and comfort. For white families, in that environment of comfort and prosperity and cultural dominance, a soft, personal, therapeutic Christianity arose. Billy Graham crusades, Adventures in Odyssey, WWJD bracelets, praise and worship music, a personal relationship with Jesus, and a ticket to heaven. Now, of course, this personal savior evangelicalism was never comfortable for everyone. Black, indigenous, queer, immigrant communities, they experienced this gentle Christianity as anything but gentle. See, beneath the surface of personal savior evangelicalism, the old hard, rigid code was never actually gone. The racist, dominating, Christian supremacist DNA, that code that had enabled colonization, that stamped manifest destiny with God's approval, that theologized the enslavement of Africans and racial hierarchy, that was all still in the evangelical body. That demon wasn't exorcised. It just was able to be quiet because conditions were comfortable enough. The undercurrent was always there. So through the 80s and 90s, these two streams were running parallel. Personal savior evangelicalism was the mainstream, but the harder political evangelicalism, the predecessor to Christian nationalism, was the undercurrent. White evangelicals on the whole at this time were still winning enough battles to stay comfortable. You could still have your quiet time with Jesus in the morning and enjoy civilizational dominance the rest of the week. But the communities that were always marginalized didn't stop pushing, operated brilliantly and strategically in the cracks of the system. And gradually the comfortable center could no longer ignore the pressure. White evangelical Christianity had spent 50 years understanding itself as the cultural norm, the default, the mainstream, the assumed center. And now that dominance was being visibly, persistently contested. Not vanquished, just opposed. But that was enough. Think of a hermit crab, the soft creature, in this case, personal savior Jesus. That creature has withered, but the shell remains. The megachurches, the institutions, the voting blocks, the media empires, the brand, the political infrastructure, and something older and explicitly harsher is moving in. In Christianity, this is a very old crab. This is the empire building crab, the one that built the Inquisition, that blessed the Crusades, that gave the Puritans the right to put Anne Hutchinson on trial for teaching theology, that wrote the Doctrine of Discovery and handed Bibles out with one hand and chains with the other. Christianity as power, as civilization, as the force that decides who belongs and who doesn't, as the tradition that sets the vision for what society is and where it's going. That crab never died. It just vacated this shell for a few decades while conditions were comfortable and non-threatening.